Hello, and welcome back to Coffee Talk with me, Karen B, on this fine Moonday morning, Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I'm on my third cup of coffee. 3. Because I had to get up at 4 a.m. and take Ted to the airport this morning. It's all good. Vern Smith says this is my first ever KB Coffee Talk. Really? I feel like I've seen you here before, but maybe not. Maybe I saw you somewhere else. What's up, Tony Coriolis? I am Ion's cat. Paul McPig Grigger. What's up, Chi-Chi? Ivan T, Fe Nation, Billingtano, Eldon Bean, Dreddy's 420, Boston Ray, Fe Nation, Edwin Messenger, Bokertov, Good Times for All, Conspiracy Music Guru, Wine O'Clock here. Yeah, man. Cool. Were you affected by the power outage in Spain, CMG? I was curious about that. Did that affect you? And did they say what that was all about yet? That was cuckoo. All the power going out like that. Like every province in Spain, basically. I think that was last Monday, wasn't it? Grand Rising, Torano Suke Idu. First timer, Spicy Sarah. Where did Ted go? Ted is going to visit his mom in Idaho. So right now, he's in the Atlanta airport where Liz will be soon. But he should be out of there before she gets there. So he's at the Atlanta airport waiting for his flight to Idaho. Currently. That's what's up. Zach used a bad word. Teams is still a bit fucked. What's up with that? My power was fine as we have solar, but not the phones. We're out half the day and they're blaming the weather. That's weird. I don't think that's true. There was a whole thing about how apparently Spain stood up to Israel, and then the next day that's when they had the power outage. Like they were like, or they didn't really stand. I don't know if it was standing up to them, but they were supposed to buy a shit ton of bullets from Israel, and then they were like, yeah, we're not gonna buy your bullets. And then the next day all their power went out. So there was of course, everybody was like, Israel did it. Which I don't know if it's true. But that's what the word was on X. Really getting interested in metaphysical realm. Well, Vern, there's way more unseen forces and unseen things going on than there are things going on that are seen. So, yeah. Metaphysical is like more than half the realm, in my opinion, as well. So, I'm with you on that. I was watching, what you might want to watch, Vern, is that guy Stephen A. Young, who's like he's like a physicist, right? He was what was he? He says what he is. But he was like a quantum physicist, essentially, is what he was. And he says he technically still is, because you can't really just not be. You can't just not have your education, right? So, but he just did a presentation on his channel about debunking quantum. And like basically explaining how it was all nonsense and why. And it was a very like, and I'll say this. A lot of those ideas are not new to me. Like being here for 10 years, you know, all the stuff about, you know, the atoms and the atoms being a theory and nobody really knows what atoms look like. Like we know all this stuff, but his presentation was really great because it was the most cohesive, most in-depth, like really sends it home. You can send his presentation, you know, to pretty much anybody, and it's like a really, if they're willing to watch it, it's like an hour and 40 something minutes long. It's like almost 2 hours long. I watched it in 2 parts, but it was worth watching. It was really good. So, you know, for what it's worth, I would check that out. I really like that, you know, there's more of people from the intellectual side, you know, starting to make content again, because that's really not my strong suit. You know, I can understand it, but I'm not the one who should be giving that message. But this guy, you know, as someone who like went to college and did a thesis on quantum physics, and he explains that in the beginning of the video. He's like, you know, I looked at this for many years. I did my thesis, blah blah blah. So he's like, I've earned the right to criticize it. And he does. And it's like really, really well done. Easy to listen to, right, Zach? Liz the Iron Maiden, lovely above the clouds. Hi, Jay. Just watched Austin. Cool. Flying over Quebec City. Earth first, space later. Musicians for Truth. Hey, what's up? What up? Ted made it out just in time. Ted will be back Friday morning. He won't be gone too long. Anyway, his presentation on that is really good. I would suggest. Highly recommend. So yeah. Missed Ted in Atlanta. Yeah, his plane's supposed to leave at 10. I don't know if he's, he should be boarding. Did you watch a modern day debate with Will Duffy and Nathan Thompson? Will Duffy drops Row 77's name. Yeah, Duffy's a fucking asshole. I'm sorry, excuse me. Why does anybody listen to that a-hole? He's a liar. Now, Rose will come in here and she'll say she's not flat and she's not globe. She's shape agnostic. That's what she would say. And it pisses me off that that dumb MFer keeps going on shows and dropping people's names and stirring up shit. It's just to cause division. Fuck Will Duffy, dude. Seriously. Excuse me. Earmuffs if you have children in the room. I mean, you should just be forewarned. I try not to cuss, but sometimes something comes up like that and it's just too big to go through the filter. That guy is just starting trouble. And Nathan Thompson's an idiot for bringing attention to that guy. You know, he's just putting more fuel on the fire by doing that stupid debate. What if you could even call it a debate? You know, I don't know. I don't watch it. I would never watch it because I don't like either one of them. But it's ridiculous. I mean, come on. You know? Disentangling fantasy from reality. Yes, Douglas Palmer, that's the presentation. It's very good. Fuck Duffy, right? Guru? Seriously. Do you not hear the stereo normally, Liz? It should always be like that. I'm with Rose for 7 years now. I don't know what this place is, but I'm positive it isn't a spinning ball, right? I don't really know what it is either, but I know it ain't what they say it is. That's all I know. And it appears to be level and stationary. The Earth presents itself as level and stationary. I'll just say that. Not as a spinny ball in space. Anyway, yeah, who cares what that guy says? You know what I'm saying? Who cares? He can go shit in a hat. Otherwise it'll sound mono. Shane says he'd buy a Fuck Duffy t-shirt. Hey, what's up, Thunder Chicken? Yeah, right, Sarah? We're gonna see Liz soon again. That's so awesome. There's always room for you here, right? Can you shout over the noise of a plane? I don't know. Oh yeah, man. Bob was a huge fan of Conspiracy Music Guru. In fact, I rewatched that stream that Rose did with Bob because her channel came back and that video came back, that stream with her and Bob. So I watched it, and he was talking about how his favorite album was The True Solfeggio by Conspiracy Music Guru in that video. It was really cool. Bob looked good, he was happy. R.I.P. Bob, yep. Yeah, Conspiracy Music Guru's connected to Globebusters and Spacebusters. Did you guys see that stream that CMG did with Steve Falconer when they were at his house and they were drinking? It was pretty funny. How fond he was of Hart, yeah. Canada has less population than the UK. Hey, Raised by Gypsies over there on Rockfin, what up? And Rumble, Matrix 6, WMS Words. Good morning from Atlanta. We had a great meetup yesterday. Oh, cool. Like the new jazz music, is it real band or AI? I actually had AI make me some music so that I could so that I could monetize my own streams and not everything go to the copyright owner of the music I had used before, because I unsubscribed from the service, right? You have to pay, and it only approves you to use their crap while you're paying. So it's like not really copyright free. It's not really free. You're just paying for it. So I wanted new songs, and I was asking Crumb, I'm like, can you do something like that? And he's like, you know what? Just use AI. And I was like, really? So I did. I went and I made like all the songs in like half an hour with AI. And it was crazy because I would tell it like what tempo and what style, and it would just make it. And I'm like, dude, this is scary. A scary shit. Needs a Deftones inspired theme song. Dude. I love me some Deftones. Like a 3-year newbie. 3 years is not that new. I mean, I guess. They're drinking every time Steve's there. A few minutes behind. Books like 30 Years Among the Dead, Life in the World Unseen, Paget Messages are also the best resource I've seen for the unseen world. Life in the World Unseen, huh? Yeah. Yeah, the metaphysical realm is quite an interesting subject. You know? There's a lot of unseen forces working all around us all the time. Ask Steph, maybe he and... Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I wish. But I don't know, you know, because they're like... I don't know how that works with musicians and major contracts like that. Like, can they just do anything, or... You know what I'm saying? Or do they have to, like, run everything by their manager? I don't know. I never even really thought about it till right now. I mean, Steph does have some side projects, but not as many as Chino. Bring Austin back. Witsit's around, but he's, you know, he's got stuff he's got to do. He's been having some personal issues, and I've just been kind of staying out of the way. I'll make you some music here and just have to find a way to record it. Well, I have all kinds of cool mics and stuff over here. Could we do it here? That would be fun. And then we could, like, make a video, too. That would be fun. I want to do something fun, you know? Excuse me. A jazz try-on gig this Saturday? Huh. Fretwell, downtown Spartanburg. A jazz trio gig. I get it. The music in your star time-lapse video isn't AI, is it? You mean the one that's like the bum 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 bum? That's not AI. That is that was, believe it or not, like a YouTube song that I found in YouTube's music that was like free to use. I'm like, hey, this is kind of a jam. And I made videos with it and everybody likes it. I like that song too. It's just a free YouTube song. What's it has a stream planned tonight? Yeah, I saw he has a stream planned tonight about how he was going to talk about how they have that bill. Remember the bill that I was talking about on Friday night or Saturday night with Ted, the HR 867 bill that was like they want to fine people up to $1 million and put people in jail for 20 years for boycotting Israel. Like, what kind of happy horse shit is that, right? Well, they took that off of the agenda. They were supposed to vote on it today, but I saw that Thomas Massey tweeted that they took that off the agenda because everybody was like, this is stupid. It's completely unconstitutional. You can't force people to do business with Israel just because, you know what I mean? You just can't. If somebody doesn't want to do business with them, then they shouldn't do business. You know? So anyway, that's been taken off of the agenda apparently. Let's see. Let me see. I'll go and find out. Mike Lawler, author of HR 867, Go Anti-Boycott Act, received a whopping $392,669 from AIPAC donations. Oh. Apparently, see, and here's the tweet I saw. Apparently, HR 867 has been pulled from the schedule for this week. Thank you for your vocal opposition on this platform. It was a ridiculous bill that our leadership should have never scheduled for a vote. You're a traitor to America for proposing HR 867. You and your Jewish masters can burn in hell. Yeah, so this is the guy who wrote that bill. Like, ridiculous, right? How could you even put a bill up like that at all? Aims to curb anti-Semitism but threatens First Amendment rights. Like, if you want to make people more anti-Semitic, start making laws and putting them in jail and finding them money for stuff like that, you know? Of course it's gonna... of course it's just gonna piss people off more. So yeah, everybody was pretty much unanimously saying that, oh, this is the guy who put that bill. May the 4th be with you. Oh, shut up. Ugh. Anyway. So yeah. So you may still talk about it. Want to have some real fun? I know. Bust out the SM58. What is that? Is that a type of microphone? As long as they don't call it a Deftones song. That would be awesome. Yes, today is Cinco de Mayo. It is the 5th of May. Hey, it's the 5th of May. Woohoo! Odale. Soon when you go out to watch a band, it will just be a computer on stage with a sign, I play all request your way. Yeah, seriously, Raised by Gypsies. You know, but it's just not as fun. It's not as fun when it's like, when it involves other humans. There's no soul to it, you know? Like, it might be technically correct and good, but there's no soul, you know? So, anyway... SM57 is better for instrumental recording. SM58 is a vocal mic. Oh, okay. Bored is a good song? Yeah. What is 5-5 Cinco de Mayo the celebration of? Mexicans don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo in Mexico. I know that much. So let's see. Cinco de Mayo is the 5th of May is an annual celebration held on May 5th to celebrate Mexico's victory over the Second French Empire at the Battle of Puebla in 1862, led by General Ignacio Zaragoza. Zaragoza died months after the battle from an illness. However, a larger French force ultimately defeated the Mexican army at the Second Battle of Puebla and then occupied Mexico City. Following the end of the American Civil War in 1865, the United States began lending money and guns to the Mexican liberals, pushing France and Mexican conservatives to the edge of defeat. At the opening of the French chambers in January 1866, Napoleon III announced that he would withdraw French troops from Mexico. In reply to a French request for American neutrality, the American Secretary of State, William Seward, replied that French withdrawal from Mexico should be unconditional. Okay. More popular in the United States than in Mexico. Cinco de Mayo has become associated with the celebration of Mexican-American culture. Celebrations began in Columbia, California, where they have been observed annually since 1862. The day gained nationwide popularity beyond those Mexican-American heritage in the 1980s due to advertising campaigns by beer, wine, and tequila companies. So basically, Cinco de Mayo is like a Corona extra holiday. A tequila holiday. It's like a Jose Cuervo holiday. In Mexico, the commemoration of the battle continues to be mostly ceremonial, such as through military parades and battle reenactments. The city of Puebla marks the event with various festivals and reenactments of the battle. Cinco de Mayo is sometimes mistaken for Mexican Independence Day, the most important national holiday in Mexico, which is celebrated on September 16th, commemorating the cry of Dolores in 1810, which initiated the Mexican War of Independence from Spain. Cinco de Mayo has been referenced and featured in entertainment media and has become an increasingly global celebration of Mexican culture, cuisine, and heritage. So there you go. I mean, Cinco de Mayo, it's got a nicer ring to it than like, how do you say 16 in Spanish? I know 15 is quinceañera, is quince, right? I don't know, of September, but Cinco de Mayo is easier to say than September 16th in Spanish. I guess that's why. My grandma's birthday. Ah, happy birthday, Grandma. Feliz Navidad. I know that's a Christmas song. Today is Stinky Mayonnaise Day. I don't need a special day to appreciate tacos. Right? You just need to be Tuesday, right? Taco Tuesday. So there you go. That's the story behind Cinco de Mayo. So, I have a bunch of tabs open here of like stuff that I was looking at this morning. I was up so early. I was literally up at 4 a.m. and then I got Ted to the airport, and then I've just been up ever since. Fed the dogs, walked the dogs. Hello, Accidental Alchemist. Eat tacos today for the Mexicans. Tacos are always welcome. Oh, I know. We love tacos around here, too. Dieciséis. See, that's harder to say than Cinco de Mayo. Dieciséis de septiembre. However you say it. I'm such a horrible... You would never know that I have Mexican heritage. I totally speak Spanish like the whitest white person. You would never know. Hail, Benjamin. We are being racist without me. Somebody hating? Whatever. Whatever. That's all I gotta say about that. Who freaking cares? I barely speak Spanish. Yeah, man. I've forgotten more Spanish than I know now. I used to know more when I lived in California and there was like Mexicans all around me. I've lost a lot of it. This headline here just caught my eye. Did you guys hear about this? What is this? SpaceX pushed sniper theory with the feds far more than is publicly known. It came out of nowhere and was really violent. What? The rocket was there and then decidedly was not. Shortly after sunrise on a late summer morning nearly 9 years ago at SpaceX's sole operational launch pad, engineers neared the end of the static fire test. These were still early days for their operation of Falcon 9 rocket that used super-chilled liquid propellants, and engineers pressed to see how quickly they could complete fueling. This was because the liquid oxygen and kerosene fuel warmed quickly in Florida's sultry air, and cold propellants were essential to maximizing the rocket's performance. On this morning, September 1st, 2016, everything proceeded more or less normally up until 8 minutes before the ignition of the rocket's 9 Merlin engines. It was stable point into the countdown, so no one expected what happened next. I saw the first explosion, John Muratori, launch director for the mission, told me. It came out of nowhere and it was really violent. I swear that explosion must have taken an hour. It felt like an hour, but it was only a few seconds. The second stage exploded in this huge ball of fire, and then the payload kind of teetered on top the transporter erector, and then it took a swan dive off the top rails, dove down and hit the ground, and then it exploded. A dramatic loss of the Falcon 9 rocket and its Amos 6 satellite, captured on video by a commercial photographer, came at a pivotal moment for SpaceX. Wait, what? Static fire anomaly, huh? Came at a pivotal moment for SpaceX and the broader commercial space industry. Second rocket failure. So where does the sniper thing come in? The sniper theory. The lack of concrete explanation for the failure led SpaceX engineers to pursue hundreds of theories. One was the possibility that an outside sniper had shot the rocket. This theory appealed to SpaceX founder Elon Musk, who was asleep at his home in California when the rocket exploded. Within hours of hearing about the failure, Musk gravitated toward the simple answer of a projectile being shot through the rocket. This is not as crazy as it sounds, and other engineers at SpaceX, aside from Musk, entertain the possibility as some circumstantial evidence to support the notion of an outside actor existed. Most notably, the first rupture on the rocket occurred about 200 feet above the ground, on the side of the vehicle facing southwest. In this direction, about 1 mile away, lay a building leased by SpaceX's main competitor in launch, United Launch Alliance. A separate video indicated a flash on the roof of this building, now known as the Spaceflight Processing Operations Center. Timing of this flash matched the interval it would take a projectile to travel from the building to the rocket. A sniper on the roof of a competitor's building. Forget the right stuff. This was the stuff of Mission Impossible or a James Bond movie. Oh, so Musk has a history of playing victim. Oh, they're sabotaging me. So Elon Musk, at Musk's direction, SpaceX works this theory both internationally and externally within the company. Engineers and technicians actually took pressurized tanks that stored helium. One of these had burst, leading to the explosion, and shot at them in Texas to determine whether they would explode and what the result looked like. Externally, they sent the site director for the Florida operations, Ricky Lim, to inquire whether he might visit the roof of the United Launch Alliance building. SpaceX pursued the sniper theory for more than a month. A few SpaceX employees told me that they did not stop this line of inquiry until the Federal Aviation Administration sent the company a letter definitively saying that there was no gunman involved. it would be interesting to see this letter, so I submitted a Freedom of Information Act request to the FAA. Because federal FOIA process moves slowly, I did not expect to receive a response in time for the book, but it was worth a try anyway. No reply came in 2023 or early 2024 when the final version of my book was due, blah, blah, blah. Letter says there's no gunman involved. Well, that's a bunch of bullshit. I've been living in Spain for 10 years and I barely speak Spanish. That's funny. Sultry air, I know. Got some concrete patching to do. Cheers, Vern. Hey, Jedi Stew. PEMDAS wasn't standardized until the 20th century. How exactly was math perfect when people did it different and got different answers? Cartoon sniper shoots cartoon rocket. Have scientists solved the mystery of gold's origin in the universe? So, once again, scientists think they're big smart by investigating things in space, thinking about imaginary space objects to explain things that happen here on Earth. The origins of heavy elements such as gold have been one of the biggest mysteries of astrophysics. And if you watch that talk that I was talking about earlier with Stephen Young, he talks about how he got into astrophysics too, and he said it was so incredibly boring. Be back later. All right, Liz. Scientists have found that explosions in highly magnetized neutron stars called magnetars could have created gold in the universe. Come on, buddy. How do they even know that? Well, how do they even come to that conclusion? Analysis of archival data from space missions show that a large amount of heavy metals, including gold, come from giant flares from magnetars. What? Used a 20-year-old archival telescope data from NASA and the European Space Agency telescopes to investigate how heavy elements such as iron and gold were created and distributed throughout the universe. This is just... I mean... It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to think that looking through a telescope at the sky is going to tell you how any sort of material that is from Earth is made. Why do they think this? It is ludicrous to me. It makes zero sense. Can somebody make it make sense? Magnetar, really? It's like, you're not retarded. You're magna retarded. Magnetarded. Yeah, scrotal Xerox and magnetards, exactly. Getting a lot of trolls. To what do I owe this honor? Sniper must have taken the Coriolis into account, huh? Also, most gold pushes up in volcano pushes. Speaking of gold, Warren Buffett is retiring. Yeah, I heard that. So places that have historically have a lot of volcanic action will have gold. I mean, that's how it is here on the East Coast. You can find gold. And of course the West Coast, California, Washington, all that. All the best gold is in the Ring of Fire, and in that the quartz that pushes up holds most of the gold. Being a rich dude. He's retiring from whatever, let's see. Oh, announces plan to retire at year's end, and here it says to remain chair. So is he retiring or not? Warren Buffett to remain as Berkshire Hathaway board chair. Will remain as the chairman of Berkshire Hathaway's board of directors once he steps down as chief executive at the end of this year, the conglomerate announced Monday. So he'll stay on the board of directors, but he won't be the chief executive. Will bring to an end the revered investors more than half a century running the group, which he turned into a financial behemoth. Berkshire Hathaway. Whatever that is. What is a magnetar and how could gold be formed on it? A magnetar is a type of neutron star that is highly magnetized, which means its magnetic field is extremely powerful. When a massive star explodes, it leaves a very dense collapsed core behind, which is called a neutron star. Yeah, sure it does. Astronomers theorize that the first magnetars were formed after the first stars about 13.6 billion years ago, right? The Big Bang created the universe 13.8 billion years ago. Is this the going number now? Magnetars can release high energy radiation by undergoing a star quake. Oh my god. Researchers found that magnetars release material during giant flares. However, they do not yet have a physical explanation for this. They don't know what the hell is going on up there. They just don't. They're just looking at lights in the sky, and then they're making up big fantasy stories about it. It's absolutely ridiculous. Before this study, the creation of gold was attributed only to neutron star collisions or kilonovas. Kilonovas? When astronomers observed a neutron star collision in 2017 through telescopes, they found the collision could create heavy elements such as gold, platinum, and lead. Really? How did they find that? Did they go and collect the gold, platinum, and lead, like physically touch it and go, oh, look at this, it's gold, platinum, and lead? Or what? Or are they just making shit up? However, archival telescopic data, which was previously indecipherable, showed that magnetar giant flares formed much earlier. Hence, the study indicates that the first gold could have been made from magnetar giant flares. Oh my god, whatever. It's just people with who got their scientific indoctrination diploma degree, and they just need to like make themselves seem like they're doing something, so they're just making stuff up. That's what that is. It's literal fabrication to justify their own existence. So ridiculous. Magnetards. Stanley Fools and Stanley Tools, the same account? Are you sitting there talking to yourself in chat like a fucking retard? Oh my god, do you have anything better to do in life except for talk to yourself in my chat? Someone should send me gold so I can perform experiments. Yeah. A gamma ray telescope, huh? The Compton spectrometer and imager. The Compton... Let's see. Cozy. A soft gamma-ray survey telescope designed to probe the origins of galactic positrons, uncover the sites of nucleosynthesis in the galaxy, perform pioneering studies of gamma-ray polarization, and find counterparts to multi-messenger sources. What does that mean? Find counterparts to multi-messenger sources. Cozy's compact Compton telescope combines improvements in sensitivity, spectral resolution, angular resolution, and sky coverage to facilitate groundbreaking science. NASA has selected SpaceX to provide launch services for Cozy. Launch is planned for 2027 on a Falcon 9 rocket from Cape Canaveral. $69 million. Elon's company sure get a lot of money from the government, don't you think? We'll study energetic phenomena in the Milky Way and beyond, including the creation and destruction of matter and antimatter with the final stages of the lives of stars. NASA's COSY mission will probe the origins of the Milky Way's galactic positrons, uncover the sites of nucleosynthesis in our galaxy, perform studies of gamma ray polarization, and find counterparts to multi-messenger sources. Does anybody know what that means? Gold is not in the decay chain, which is why I cannot understand why they tie them together. Specifically, lead grabs ions, the exact opposite of uranium, which throws them. Bismuth is the stable part of that chain. Panning is fun as fuck. Alright, Melissa, take care. Go there when they teach bullshit. Go where? If a company succeeds, it's almost always government funded, or the owners sell drugs to supplement. Elon is on the government tit, right? So there you go. They think they're gonna learn figure out how gold was made from looking in space. Isn't that silly? Remember the giant asteroid that they said that was going to hit the Earth by, I don't know, sometime in the future, 2032. Earlier this year, the space boffins warned an asteroid called 2024 YR, some tens of thousands of miles away in orbit, actually posed a threat to our home planet. With NASA warning the gigantic beast, the size of New York's Statue of Liberty, could come careening towards us as early as 2032. NASA has since said the asteroid no longer poses a significant threat to us, but many are still afraid of them, and understandably so, considering their mammoth size. Right. So, while they were making a big deal about this thing was going to hit Earth, they sure don't make a big deal about, everybody chill, it's cool. It's not really a threat anymore. Because, of course, this crap is just more of their fear porn. Just another thing to get into your subconscious to make you think that you could just be wiped out of existence at any time. And you're just a meaningless speck. Look at this, though. This is their picture. Clearest image ever taken of asteroid Ryugu. The pitch black background is scary. I mean, look at this picture. It's so dumb. It looks like a pile of freaking dirt. It looks like a pile of dirt in somebody's backyard. That's what that looks like to me. It looks like a pile of construction dirt. That's what it looks like. So who's getting freaked out by looking at this pile of dirt? I mean, it's incredibly stupid. Reminds me of my grandma's basement. Hilarious. And then, of course, people are going to start throwing in their other fake pictures. This is allegedly they're saying that talking about something went and took a sample of the of the right, sure it did. It's so ridiculous. You know, if you're ever having a bad day, just remember, you don't fall for this stupid crap anymore. Hey, Chicago artist. Hey, what's up, Fatheads Adventures? Four by four Jeeps to the moon so we can have a mud bogging competition sometime. Reminds me of the wood ash pile, which does freak me out. That's too much potassium. Yeah, the charcoal from your grill, right? Like, it's like a pile of dirt or something. They're like, oh, look at this picture of an asteroid. Isn't it freaky? It's like, no. It's a pile of dirt in the dark. Feels good to be able to see, right? You're not falling for it. When they put a camera on the asteroid, well, they say they sent like a freaking rover or something, landed something on it, and the thing took samples and then came back. That's what they say. Let's see. Near-Earth object, also a potentially hazardous asteroid of the Apollo group. It measures approximately 900 meters or 3,000 feet in diameter and is a dark object of the rare spectral type CB with qualities of both C-type asteroid and B-type asteroid, blah, 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 blah. After making measurements in June of 2018, the Japanese spacecraft Hayabusa 2 arrived at the asteroid after making measurements and taking samples. Hayabusa 2 left Ryugu for Earth in November 2019 and returned the sample capsule to Earth on the 5th of December 2020. The sample showed the presence of organic compounds such as uracil, one of the 4 components of RNA, and vitamin B3. So there you go. Where samples petrified tree? I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know where the samples are. Does Japan have them? Oh, look at this nifty little rotating animation of the asteroid. Oh. Yes. It's just uncanny. How did they get such a perfect picture? 360. Here's more of the asteroid surface. It looks like more rocks and dirt. Excuse me, sorry. So the pink circle is the Hayabusa. The green circle is the asteroid, the blue one is Earth, and it's all going around the sun. It's ridiculous. So here's their sample, what it looks like. It looks like Yeah, it looks like it came out of somebody's barbecue. Looks like charcoal. Or coal. That's what it looks like. Now you believe. Hilarious, right? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Huh, that's interesting. Ryugu. The name refers to Ryugu-jo, Dragon Palace, a magical underwater palace in a Japanese folktale. In the story, fisherman Urashima Taro travels to the palace on the back of a turtle, and when he returns, he carries with him a mysterious box, much like Hayabusa 2 returning with samples. Oh, here we go. Here's the mission overview animation. See how this works. So it just follows Earth. Let's see. So it's just going around like with Earth? I don't get it. Ion thruster started. Oh, I see. So they had to calculate orbits and stuff. Oh god, right. Sure they did. And then okay, so it's going after the asteroid. Summer of 2018, arrival at the asteroid. Wow, this is fascinating. Is this supposed to be slow motion, or is this real time? Diameter 880 or 15 meters. So they keep changing it. They just said it was bigger. The last thing I saw, it said it was like 900. So then it just stops? Is this what happens? It just locks on to the asteroid and starts mapping it? This is hilarious. So then it throws a little box. That's how it collected samples. It went at seriously, and it just worked flawlessly. They got their samples back. we supposed to believe that this thing went to an asteroid and did all this stuff and then brought back samples? Wide-angle camera to record ground-based comparable data. Data transmission to Hayabusa. So how does it get back to the Hayabusa and then back to Earth? And it has a little arm inside of it that makes it tumble around on the asteroid. You guys, seriously, this is hilarious. So that little box has a little swing arm inside of it that makes it roll around on the asteroid to collect samples. So ridiculous. Nothing ever goes wrong in space, right? That's what NASA really does, but I wonder if it's fiction also. Oh, the smart dust? Well, no, there could be some truth to that stuff. Cleary. Hey, I ain't seen that name in a long time. Did I just miss it? So how does the samples get from the asteroid to the Earth, allegedly? Re-entry capsule. Directly from the surface in 2 locations. So how does this thing maneuver around the asteroid? It's so phony. Like, it doesn't even look or sound plausible. What it just... okay, so the little box doesn't bring back the sample. The little box rolls around on the asteroid, and then it tells the satellite how to go down and poke it and get its sample. And then it goes back, and then it starts to catch up with Earth orbit again. Hilarious. What is that? Re-entry capsule with collected soil capsule. So what? It just dumps it off on Earth and then they just have to go find it? Come on. Oh my God. Hilarious. Hilarious. Propulsion. The spacecraft features 4 solar electric ion thrusters for propulsion, one of which is a backup. These engines use microwaves to convert xenon into plasma ions, which are accelerated by a voltage applied by the solar panels and ejected out the back of the engine. The simultaneous operation of 3 engines generates thrust of up to 28 mn. What is that? Neutrons, maybe? Although this thrust is very small, the engines are also extremely efficient. The 66 kilograms of xenon reaction mass can change the speed of the spacecraft by up to 2 kilometers a second. Yeah, sure it can. So what is this saying? Like it's creating like it's ionic wind or something, and that's how it propels itself around? Is that kind of what, is that what I'm seeing? Because I don't really get it. Am I not allowed to ask about them? Oh, were you asking about Jaren? That's because people, after he flipped, I just got tired of talking about him, and one day I got frustrated and I made Jaren a banned word in my chat so people couldn't come in and keep asking about Jaren. So I'm sorry about that. I never took it out. I never undid it. But what do you want to know? He's a sellout. He's a flip-flopper. He's either a complete idiot and never understood what the whole thing in the first place, or he's a sellout. You know, I don't know. Only he knows the truth. We can all speculate all we want, but we don't know. You know, what's wrong with these people, or why did Paul on the plane disappear and then come back just to say, hey, I'm not a flat earther anymore. Earth is a globe. And then leave again and unfriend everybody on Facebook, like randomly, when he had already left Flat Earth. Or why Patricia came back and was back for like a couple of months, and then she's like, yeah, based on new evidence, I'm changing my mind, even though there is no fucking new evidence. There's no new evidence. I mean, what do you think? Your guess is as good as ours, as good as mine. You think they all sold out? You know, why? What is the point? Who knows? Newton meters or nanometers? Newtons? The correct name is Jismism. Yeah, yes, Billingtano, that's very good. Jismism. No real flat earther ever leaves. Right. You know, it's like, even when all that stuff went down, all the local people around here, because there's a lot of us that live, you know, locally here in the Carolinas. Nobody here flipped. Nobody that hangs out with other flat earthers in real life where I'm at came out and said, oh, you know what? I'm with Jaren. I'm flipping. It was just everybody who flipped basically, I don't know. They were either phony to begin with, they never really understood it, or they're sellouts. I don't know what to say. I couldn't imagine myself ever turning around and saying that stuff. I just couldn't. You know, but I already, like I've said before, I already went through the whole thing where the sun, what the sun does in the sky doesn't prove that the earth is a ball in space. You know? Nobody knows how the lights in the sky work. Nobody knows the true mechanics of it. The secrets, the hidden secrets of the sky clock. Nobody knows how it works. So what is it? It doesn't prove anything. So, you know, whatever. So yeah, I put his name blocked in the chat because I was just like, who cares? I don't want to spend the rest of my time, you know, talking about buttheads. Perverted buttheads who turned into like vitriolic, like antagonistic, you know, everything that they used to hate. It's like, it's just weird, doesn't make sense. I have to assume that they're sellouts because to do that for free, it doesn't make sense. Cross some lines. They were all into crypto, so I know plenty of people who are into crypto and they didn't flip. In fact, there's still people who are into crypto who are flat earthers. I see people who have crypto names and they still come in my chat because they're still flat earthers. It has nothing to do with they were into crypto. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I mean, now, they all did start pushing that particular crypto, and I think that they thought that they were going to make a lot of money. I think they did that for money. So it tells me that they're motivated by money and that they probably flipped for money too. You know? You can be into crypto and not be a piece of doo-doo. It's possible. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think people who have a history of being monetarily motivated basically showed their true colors, that they're monetarily motivated, and this is, you know, they can deny it. There's no proof of it, you know. I have no proof. But now Jaren has all the Globers on his channel, you know. We've all seen how these pro-Globe channels get these crazy super chats. They make tons of money. So for me, that's the thing that makes the most sense. It's monetarily motivated. Because I would like to think that they're not that freaking stupid. Although they could be. I don't know. Turned into a Glober. The sketchy crypto that failed. Yeah. Yeah, because they probably thought they were going to make a lot of money. You know, and they were promoting it in the hopes that they would, right? That's why people shill those things, because they want to make money off of it. I remember he was pushing that pirate coin and the bottom dropped out. A lot of people lost money. Yeah. I had some pirate. I don't even know what happened to that crypto. It just, yeah, it faded off into obscurity. That was a privacy coin. It was like a, you know, kind of like Monero, you know, type of thing. The concept behind it was good, but I think that with the pirate died, I think, because of crypto vigilante and what they did. No better than Hawk to a crypto. Yeah. That chick still hasn't tweeted. She left after that dump. The Hawk Tua chick is gone. She's gone. They will end up like Ranty, retired. Just don't try. They're public school kids. Maybe just playing a role. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. All you do is look at the moon and know where the sun is. There's no 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Well, I would disagree with that, Effie Nation, because the 24-hour sun at the poles is well documented in many, many things. Many, many maps. I mean, it explains why the maps had the two hemispheres before they officially knew, before the globe was like an officially accepted model for the Earth. You know, that's why. Because the sun is circumpolar on both poles. Or all the poles. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how many poles there are. I think there's possibly 3 or more, but the sun is circumpolar. It just is. Good riddance. Are they being blackmailed by the SEC? Blackmailed by the SEC? I do not think so, Dean. I really don't think so. I don't think so. But I also don't know. You know, I don't know. I don't know, man. I try not to spend too much time on it, thinking about it anymore, honestly, because it's like, is it really gonna help anything? Just, you know, dwelling on that? Nah, not really. Not really. You know, and Jaren acts like, you know, him flipping should be the end of Flat Earth. Dude, Flat Earth was here before Jaren, long before Jaren, and it's going to continue to be here long after Jaren too, right? We are not the first ones here talking about this. This has been an ongoing argument since the turn of the century. We know this because, you know, there have been plenty of times where we went and have looked at old articles about Flat Earth, and like articles where they're talking about how this guy was a flat earther and he was arguing with all the scientists. Like, this has been going on since since probably the globe was ever first proposed as a model of Earth. You know, this argument has been going on the entire time. So, and long before Jaren was ever born, long before Jaren's mom was born. You know what I'm saying? So, should Jaren flip-flopping or doing whatever he's doing be the end of Flat Earth? Absolutely not. Because he wasn't the beginning of it. Neither was Eric fucking Dubé. Right? They're just opportunists. I wonder if either one of them actually cares about truth. You know? So there's that. Does the final experiment talk about the position of the moon? Would there be a 24-hour moon? Well, the way that it works in our so sophisticated created universe that we live in is that when the sun is 24 hours over the South Pole, the full moons are in the north. So while they were in Antarctica, looking at the 24-hour sun, there was no moon to be seen. The moon was too far north, so they couldn't see it. Now, if they were there during 24-hour night, then they would have a 24-hour moon. But they didn't. Because the moon was in the north. The moon was circumpoling the north. While the sun is circumpoling the south. And then it flip-flops. So, when we have our summer like we're having now, the moon's going to be in the south. The full moons are going to, well, not the moon all the time, but the full moon phase will be in the south. And then it'll flip-flop. Spaceball Ship the Druze Princess. I loved Spaceballs. I watched that movie many, many times. The southern rotation does not work as a globe proof for me. It was my earliest issue with FE. There are possible solutions too, flying and spinning. Yeah. Waterball defies way too much reality. I'm currently eating space lettuce grown in outer space for the first time ever in the history of Earth. Ha! Corey. Hi, Karen. Just got in. Missed you. Hey, what's up, Corey? FE Nation says, in one of Admiral Richard Byrd's videos, it shows no 24-hour sun to the south during twilight. Well, I don't recall ever seeing that. Which video? Oh, the one... Okay, I see. There are a number of ways people can be compromised. It could be money or threats. He was a flat earther for 10 years. Yeah, man. Yeah, it could be any number of things. Anything I say would be speculation because I have no idea. I just know I want absolutely nothing to do with any of those people. moving forward. I just want nothing to do with them. There's no benefit. There's no purpose. There's no reason why should have anything to do with those weirdos. Whatever is going on with them, I don't want anything to do with it. I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. Make a short? So, 3 red monsters were discovered, scientists declare, beginning of a new era. 3 red monsters. These are 3 red monsters. Using Fresco, the team sifted through 36 dust-shrouded galaxies. Precise redshifts confirmed that most of them fit neatly within ACDM expectations. Not A, what is that? 3 objects, however, refuse to play by the usual rules. Each one boasts a stellar mass greater than 10 to the 11th power times that of the sun. Impressive for any epoch, but absolutely astounding for the universe's first billion years. Oh, so they're saying they found three stars, or red galaxies. Together, the galaxies may have fueled about 17% of all star formation between redshift 5 and 6, when the cosmos was just under 1 billion years old. Right. Peering back 13 billion years. Guys, they looked 13 billion years into the past at these galaxies. Do you think they're still here? The trio's extreme efficiency stands out. They appear to have turned roughly half of the normal matter available inside their dark matter halos into stars. Oh, really? How do they know this? 2 or 3 times the rate seen in later epochs. Oh, right, because they've been observing things for billions of years and they have all that data. We're like, dude, like 4 or 5 billion years ago, it didn't happen this fast. Typical galaxies manage no more than 20%. Right. It's just crazy. Like, how do they come up with this jibber jabber? I mean, what do they put in people's heads that makes them come up with this garbage? It's like fan fiction gone awry. Like, horribly wrong and awry. Right? Like, how there's the original Star Wars movies and then there's all these fan fictions like people write, like their idea of what happens with some of these characters. That's what these people are who make up these things. They're like, somebody made up the original story of the Big Bang Theory that made the universe. Whoever that was. Did Einstein make up Big Bang? Freaking knucklehead. Right? And then it's just like every scientist after that is just writing fan fiction based off of the original BS story. That's basically what I see when I read all of this stuff. It's like fan fiction for nerds. Good stuff doesn't come until 17 billion years. You just can't see my wrinkles. I'm sitting too far from the camera. Hey, it's 11:11. Just playing a modified game like D&D? Yeah. Recall when the TRAPPIST system was discovered? Yeah. There's another article on here too where it said that that scientists said that there's many super Earths. Let me see if I could find it again. Which color is science? This one? Astronomers just found a faint speck that might be the missing 9th planet. Dun dun dun! The Planet 9 debate. So is Pluto still not considered a planet? Revenge of the Nerds. I mean, is Pluto considered a planet or no? I know they kept going back and forth on whether or not they wanted to call Pluto a planet. Pluto is classified as a dwarf planet, not a full-size planet, because it has not cleared its orbit of other objects. What does that mean? It has not cleared its orbit of other objects. This reclassification occurred in 2006 by the International Astronomical Union. Anyway, so astronomers just found a faint speck that might be the missing 9th planet, allegedly. Have nudged the Planet 9 debate back into the spotlight after their study accepted for publication in the Publications of the Astronomical Society of Australia after exhuming a faint, slow-moving speck of light from 2 infrared sky maps taken a generation apart. The object noticed first in the 1983 survey of NASA's Infrared Astronomical Satellite, and again in 2006 and 7, All-Sky Pass of Japan's Akari Observatory, sits exactly where the distant planet could have drifted during the 23 years that separate the 2 missions. Why a 9th planet has been suspected all along. Far beyond Neptune lies the Kuiper Belt, a ring of icy leftovers from the solar system's early days. The icy leftovers from the solar system's early days. Yes, that's the vapor canopy. Several of those objects, including the dwarf planet Sedna, follow orbits that cluster in one sector of space instead of being spread evenly around the sun. Computer simulations in 2016 showed that a hint planet 5 to 10 times Earth's mass could shepherd those orbits into the observed pattern. Other explanations exist, but none fit this data as neatly. The combined catalogs from the Akari sky maps held roughly 2 million point sources, and his colleagues first calculated how bright Planet 9 should look at the 5 to 10 times Earth mass ratio and sits 500 to 700 astronomical units from the Sun, a distance where one orbit would take about 10,000 years. So this is, okay, so Pluto isn't considered a planet because it's too small. They're saying it's too small to be a planet. It's a dwarf planet. But Pluto's orbit is like, it's like something ridiculous, like 280 years or 270 something years. But is Pluto a wandering star? I'm not even sure when Pluto came about. Let's see what Sheeplepedia says. In the 1840s, Urbain Le Verrier used Newtonian mechanics to predict the position of a then undiscovered planet Neptune after analyzing perturbations in the orbit of Uranus. Subsequent observations of Neptune in the late 19th century led astronomers to speculate that Uranus's orbit was being disturbed by another planet besides Neptune. In 1906, Percival Lowell, a wealthy Bostonian who had founded Lowell Observatory in Flagstaff, Arizona, started an extensive project in search of possible ninth planet he termed Planet X. By 1909, Lowell and William H. Pickering had suggested several possible celestial coordinates for such a planet. Lowell and his observatory conducted his search using mathematical calculations made by Elizabeth Williams until his death in 1916, but to no avail. Unknown to Lowell, his surveys had captured two faint images of Pluto on March 19th and April 7th of 1915, but they were not recognized for what they were. There are 14 other known pre-Covery observations, with the earliest made by the Yerkes Observatory August 20th, 1909. So Pluto wasn't even really accepted as part of the solar system until the early 1900s, huh? Because I know there's a couple of them that were not included in the original Wandering Stars. The original was like 7 wandering stars, right? Did the ancients observe and document Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto as wandering stars? Yeah, I don't think so. The 7 classical planets, they are from the brightest to the dimmest: the Sun, the Moon, Venus, Jupiter, Mercury, Mars, and Saturn. That's the original 7. Greek astronomers such as Geminus and Ptolemy recorded these classical planets during classical antiquity, introducing the term planet, which means wanderer in Greek, expressing the fact that these objects move across the celestial sphere relative to the fixed stars. Therefore, the Greeks were the first to document the astrological connections to the planet's visual detail. Babylonians recognized 7 planets. A bilingual list in the British Museum records 7 Babylonian planets in the following order: Moon, Sun, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Mercury, and Mars. So yeah, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto are later additions. It was 5? 5 wandering stars, yeah. There's something to it being just 5 planets. The Chinese zodiac elements 5. Each one has a planet assigned to it. Yeah, that makes sense. The 5 main elements: earth, air, water, fire, ether. Right? So, what elements are assigned to which planets? Is that in that book you sent me? I wonder if it's in that book. I wonder if it talks about that. Is this just more about the signs? Well, actually, in Chinese astrology, it's not the same elements. It's wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Not the Greek version, which I was just talking about, which is earth, air, fire, water, ether. So in Chinese astrology, it's wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. However, it does not say to which planet they associate it with. So anyway, interesting. I wonder if it has anything about that. Let's see. I don't think so. And then, which planet would be Earth? Right, because Earth isn't in the original ones. Earth is usually excluded. So if one of the elements is Earth, what would that be associated with? I'm fascinated to know. Let's see. Bridging the 5 elements. Okay, so, this is... Okay, so the other one's called Ayurveda. Ether, air, fire, water, earth. Enoch was shown 7 transgressing stars. Is Neptune visible without a telescope? I don't know. Yeah, Earth is one of the elements, which is... It's kind of weird that Earth Earth is an element in both ways, right? In both of those classical elements. Yeah, earth, fire, water, and then wood. Well, wood, it's different. It's kind of weird that wood is an element. No? Earth, fire, water. And the difference is ether and wood and metal. Can't find anything on that. It's always an element for me, but it's the 0 point and everything else is above and below. Which you talking about, Ben? Which element? It's weird that that wood is the first to kick off this sexagenary cycle too. Are meteorites real? Does anything really fall from the sky? Well, I mean, I've seen things on fire falling through the sky, like what looks like something on fire falling in the sky, like at this like sort of trajectory like that. I've seen stuff like that. What is it? I have no freaking idea. No idea. If you ask Ben, Ben says yes, that meteorites are real. But where do they come from? I don't know. I don't think they're coming from, like, deep space or anything like that. It could just be, just part of the natural regeneration cycle of the Earth realm itself. I mean, maybe it's always, maybe the firmament is always regenerating and fixing itself. Who knows? Moldavite has an interesting story. Yeah, I got a little piece of Moldavite right here. Speaking of... But you can't really see it. Richard B. gave that to me. Just a little piece. Anyway, yeah, it does have an interesting story. It's only found in one place. I think it's basically slag. Joe Dirt found a meteorite. Yeah, I've seen that a couple times actually. The fireball thing. Jordan Peterson claims to have been hit in the head by a meteorite. Is that true? I want a giant Moldavite pendant. Well, Ben's got one that he made. I think it's pretty pricey, though. Oh, I don't have my phone thing open, Tony. I'm sorry. You made me realize I never opened the phones. I'm sorry. I forgot it. Okay. Ah, yes, I see where you called. Me malo. It's open now. 23 racks. Damn! I've seen stuff burning and sparking fall from the sky and land in the water, but huge military areas, so it could have been anything. Yeah, I mean, I saw it, like, driving on 85 here in the south. My children were in the car. I think my mom was there. Like, there was a bunch of us. We were, like, coming home from dinner, and this big flaming thing was going across the sky. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen B. It's Tony Coriolis.
What's up, Tony?
Not much. Just here at work, you know, classic BS. But, okay, I was thinking about a couple things. You said how, you know, you said the sun is dual polar, but then you said there could possibly be three. Just spitballing on that a little bit. Would the three, like the answer to the possible three would be like the other side of like going towards Antarctica in the south? Is that where you think the third one may be? I mean, just what are your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts are that there's the pole in the middle, the North Pole, and then there could be, instead of having one South Pole, there's actually two. And like part of how they make the ball is they take the two outer South Poles and then wrap them around and overlap to make it a ball. So there would be...
Yeah, and then...
Yeah.
And it would still kind of check out with the fact of like how we see the stars and stuff in the South. So, I really just have questions to it all. And the fact that we can't ever get up there, I'd really have a hard time believing them on just how they say it. Like you debate with some of these people and they act like, oh, well, it works exactly as it does in the video game. Why are you questioning it? I do not think it does. And, it's weird that they're trying to make it now as you shouldn't question anything if you can't prove it 100,000%. I like sitting in more of the questioning stuff angle. And even if, say, I make it my life quest to go and figure this out, how everything looks. As far as I can tell right now, the fact of you saying how the sky observations, they would match that, I'm kind of okay with that for now. Do I really think that there's anything out there that, I just got to go to this section and look up and I'll see something different? I don't really know to that, but is there any thought on, do you think there could be a spot that maybe just no one's really checked out yet or anything?
Well, for me, it would be really interesting to see what's going on during the southern summer south of Africa.
Yeah.
Because there's not really a magnetic anomaly that's talked about that's in South Africa, or south of Africa, I guess I should say. So that would be interesting.
Yeah, no, I hear you out on that.
Mm-hmm.
I will definitely remember you saying that, and it just positively. Like, I just like that it's just kind of spitballing around with stuff. It's not even a big deal. But
yeah.
I know one time I went to Newport with my family and stuff, and my little brother, he just, I don't know, he makes some great connections. So he's got a friend, and we got to go on the friend's dad's boat, and it's definitely the kind of boat that like you could go anywhere. You could just tell the guy, hey, we want to go out here, and he's got a whole private, I don't know, a guy that drives the boat and everything, and it's
like a
really
yacht.
Official thing.
It's like a yacht.
Yeah, kind of, but like a personal one, and like there are different bedrooms on it and stuff. And
that sounds like a yacht.
It was fancy.
It sounds like a yacht.
Yeah, it was super cool. It has a whole kitchen and everything. It was badass. But so I just know, maybe someday something will work out for me, and I'll get enough money, and I just now have that South of Africa on my list. So
yeah,
cool.
And that's also the most expensive trip to go to the South Pole is the South Africa trip. It's over 100.
I was going to bring that up too.
It's over 100,000. Over 100,000 per person, and the only way to get there is to go on this private chartered jet. As the only group that does it that I could find. So
yeah,
it's interesting.
Totally. And even hearing about the Antarctica stuff, I guess they say that part of a constriction to it is, they can only land at the one spot where they went. And I don't know, maybe there's another spot to land or something. But, I mean, they do say that, the option is if you want to go anywhere there, you could just pay them. And then they go and scan it and make sure there's no crevices and stuff. If anything, we're just inching more and more. But, yeah, I really don't like the whole flip. And then anyone that doesn't flip, you're seeing it all wrong. And like, I'm listening to it all, and I don't know, nothing's being received from me. I'm being positive about this whole thing. I've been, but yeah, I'm starting to not see any point to still trying to kick it in that circle.
Well, good for you for sticking it out and hearing it all out. Like I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm really trying to, and I'm not, because then they are saying the stuff of, there's echo chambers, and you're scared of the stuff. I've been here the whole time. Come on, settle down, and anyone, go ahead, explain to me your best case. Explain it to me better than I've heard, because I feel like I can explain that case that you're laying out better than you could. So, yeah, I'm not scared of it, and either way, it's just entertaining for the mind, and the thing about the possible, just like the 5 planets. I know I was really only thinking about that when we were out in Atlantic City, and there was one of the guys that went, I don't see him in the chat too much at all, but his name was Chris Neptune, okay? So right when I met that guy, I just thought, Neptune, that's one of the planets. Let me check which Chinese zodiac that one lines up with, and Neptune doesn't get one of the elements, that one, Uranus and Pluto, they don't. So I just wonder, and even that little bit that you read, it says that, there's something around when Neptune was found, something with its orbit is off a little bit because of another, That's just la la land stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have such a hard time believing that. I can hear it out, sure, but am I gonna, I don't know, hang my coat on it? No. So
Right.
yeah, I just like thinking about this all. And yeah, I'm at work, and one of the things I was thinking about, just changing the subject completely on something I was thinking about at work. You know how, like, I don't know, stuff is biodegradable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I know it has a lot to do with, like, moisture in the air and stuff for how something does break down. And, okay, sunflower seeds, like, I mean, those pretty much just end up going away at some point, you know? If someone does that move where they pull up to the parking lot and they throw out a whole bunch of sunflower seeds or whatever, like, they go away eventually. It's not like I know, like, oh, that pile's been lingering there for a year. They're eventually just gone. I know it does get so windy, they kind of just blow off and they're just gone. But then pistachio shells, that is such a hard, like, wood, you know, type of shell thing. How do those biodegrade? Is there, like, a for sure half-life to it, or is it kind of all just dependent on moisture in the air and stuff? I've just been thinking about that a lot.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I would think it would have to do with moisture and, like, just the general conditions of wherever that stuff is left at. You know, because, like, out here in the woods, things decay pretty fast.
Yeah, totally.
But I think in the desert,
yeah.
desert, like where you're at, it's going to take a lot longer, right?
Yeah, for sure. And there's another thing where they sell these confetti eggs for Easter, and, like, they take the shells of an egg and then they fill it with paper confetti stuff, and then they seal it. So people just come to the park and just bust confetti eggs all over. And, you know, eventually it does go away. I'll try to rake up the majority of it, but then as the sprinklers go, it kind of, you know, it does just go away. But currently it happened the week before Easter. They shut down all the sprinklers here because we're putting in a new pump. So there's so much lingering confetti around the park, and it's kind of driving me crazy, but yeah, it is what it is. I should just stop obsessing about it and thinking about it. It will go away at some point. It's not like in 2 months from now it still is going to be there, but I don't know. I'll give an update on that one. How they say stuff is biodegradable, it has a lot to do with water in the air and stuff. And yeah, I'm just questioning everything, as I think we all should.
Yeah, well, water is technically a solvent, so.
Yeah, water is so interesting. And then so if wood starts that sexagenary cycle, water's like the last completing one in it. And then, you know, they say the whole thing on how God didn't say he created water. He said it was already here. So I don't know. It kind of reminds me of that whole chicken and the egg thing. You said one time how it would be the chicken, because then the chicken would have to nurture the egg. You know, the egg doesn't exist without the chicken.
Right.
So,
the egg doesn't hatch on its own.
And a tree doesn't grow without water, but if there was an original tree that started, so I don't know, just wondering about it all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to think about, isn't it?
Totally. Well, all right, Karen, I'm going to go back to work. Thank you for taking my call.
All right, thanks, Tony.
All right, peace.
Later. We're off to the hospital in a few hours to bring Emily Rose into the realm. Maybe she'll be the one that answers me when I ask her if she met God. That'd be pretty cool. Oh, cool, Rethink. Best of luck. Congratulations. It's interesting how tsunami waves hit Antarctica in the past. The tsunami wave that wrapped entirely around Australia hit Antarctica and became diffused instead of wrapping around it. Spontaneous generation, chicken came first. That's what I say, Ben. The chicken came first because the egg isn't going to hatch on its own. The egg needs to be kept at a constant temperature. It needs to be rotated every day. It needs to be in a humid environment, and that doesn't happen unless Mama is there to make it happen. No beginning, no end, difficult to conceive, right? How's the tsunami going to make it over the ice shelf? Isn't it a couple 100 feet above sea level? Yeah. Yes, Dr. Bass, the thought that we'd be flying through space for all recorded history without our view of the heavens changing at all seems flat out ridiculous. I agree. I agree. Was the chicken full grown or was it a chick? Even chicks need care though. They can't survive on their own either. It would have to be a chicken capable of living on its own, so it would at least have to be feathered out. At least have to be feathered out. Maybe a pullet. Composting, ground contact, mycorrhizal fungi. Yeah, exactly. Because like out here, like I told Ted, if you want to stack up firewood, you got to get it off the ground because the stuff that touches the ground starts rotting like right away. Yeah, homunculus are us trying to recreate spontaneous generation. The big problem being imbuing it with a soul. Yeah, this is what the juicy people are trying to do to make their Messiah. To bring their Messiah back and so they can build the third temple. The Bigfoot investigators discovered an unsettling station. It's a big flat rock with a little rock for smashing. Where was the earthquake? Oh, unshelling station. That makes sense. .4 magnitude earthquake rattles rural southeastern New Mexico. 7.4. This is the one you must be talking about, right? Off the coast of Chile and Argentina. A 7.4 magnitude earthquake struck off the southern coast of Chile and Argentina on Friday, the USGS said. The quake triggered a tsunami warning, but it was later canceled and there were no reports of damage or casualties. The quake hit at 8:58 a.m. local time and was followed by at least a dozen aftershocks. Chilean authorities issued an evacuation alert for the entire coastal section of the Strait of Magellan in the far south of the country as a precaution. We call for evacuation of the coastline through the Magellan's region, Chile's President Gabriel Boric posted on social media after an emergency service alert, which also ordered evacuations in the nearby Antarctic seas. Photos and social media videos showed people calmly evacuating as sirens blared in the background. Oh. In Punta Arenas, located in Chilean Patagonia, and on the Strait of Magellan, which connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, the streets quickly filled with residents searching for shelters, according to images broadcast on local television. The evacuation proceeded calmly and without panic. We received the alert and we had to evacuate at work, but people are calm and well prepared. So down here, way at the tip, in Ushuaia, considered the world's southernmost city, local authorities suspended all types of water activities and navigation in the Beagle Channel for at least 3 hours. No damage was reported. The earthquake was felt primarily in the city Ushuaia and to a lesser extent in towns across the province. The local government reported, in the face of these type of events, it was important to remain calm. Tsunami warning was issued for coastal areas within 185 miles of the epicenter. Soon after the quake, Chilean authorities withdrew the warning later Friday after determining that no tsunami was occurring, allowing people to trickle back to their homes even as officials continued to caution the public to steer clear of boardwalks and beaches. So there was no tsunami, according to this. 4.2 strikes Pakistan. Just hit Pakistan. Pakistan, which is about to get into war with, is it Iran and Pakistan? Or no, it's Pakistan and India. That's what it is. 4.2 magnitude earthquake struck Pakistan on Monday. The recent so I guess follows another earthquake of 4.4 magnitude on April 30th. Recent earthquakes have raised concerns among residents. Many people felt the ground shake and were worried about potential damage to buildings and infrastructure. Emergency services are on alert to respond if needed. World's longest suspension bridge to be built over earthquake fault line of the Strait of Messina Bridge. Where's that? Construction of what would be the world's longest suspension bridge is scheduled to begin this year, according to the Italian government. The bridge between the island of Sicily and the Italian mainland would cross over the Strait of Messina, a distance of 3,300 meters, though the construction has to grapple with tectonic activity that could cause earthquakes. Oh. Strait of Messina Bridge. Wow. Great Belt Bridge. Wow, it's really long. It's like almost twice as long as the other bridges that they want to build. The idea of connecting Sicily to the Italian mainland is not a new one. Roman empires, King Charlemagne, and successive modern Italian governments have all attempted to get beyond the planning phase, but cost, time, and the challenge of building in an earthquake-prone area have meant each try has been dismissed before shovels break ground. Well, how are people getting across now? Are they just using ferries or what? The bridge's design would not spare any expense, carrying both trains and vehicles across the 2-mile distance between Tor Faro in Sicily and Villa San Giovanni on the mainland. Latest estimates for the project predict that the cost would be around $13.5 billion. Wow. Equivalent to $15.3 billion. Small part being funded by the European Union. At the beginning of April this year, constructors WeBuild hoped that work would be ready to begin at the end of the year, so they haven't even really started it. We'll see. I don't know, it seems like it's probably not a good idea. But whatever. New California earthquake risk raised by scientists. A major earthquake along the Cascadia subduction zone could cause coastal land from to sink permanently. Okay, this is poorly written. Could cause coastal land to sink permanently, dramatically increasing the risk of flooding, according to a new study. Research published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences found that a major earthquake greater than a magnitude of 7.7 could cause subsidence ranging from half a foot to 6 feet. This would double the flood exposure for many coastal areas where airports, highways, wastewater facilities, and homes sit dangerously close to sea level. The Cascadia subduction zone is a major fault that runs offshore from Northern California to British Columbia. Well, that's just more speculation, isn't it? This sounds like climate scare crap. By 2100, when combined with climate-driven sea level rise... Yep, see, there we go. When combined with climate-driven sea level rise, floodplains could expand by as much as 370 square kilometers, more than tripling flood exposure compared to current 2023 floodplain. Right. What's fleet? Gleet, F-O, Gleet? What's Gleet? I've not heard of this. Epsom salt wash, monostat, and nystatin. Talking about losing the coast, of course. What happened to ODD TV? He's in jail. Rose, I don't know if you knew that, but he's in jail. He's been there for a while, as far as I know. It will never happen. They've been talking about it for years. Well, apparently they've been talking about it since there was an emperor of Rome, so if they haven't done it yet, I'm thinking it probably won't happen. Mendocino has really great sea glass at a secret beach that I don't think is secret anymore. It's probably not secret. There's a lot of beaches in California that are called like secret beach, but it's not really a secret. When I think of Mendocino, I have two separate images in my mind of stoners and then golfers who wear salmon-colored polos. Hilarious, Rose. You're probably not far off. It's a bacterial infection from dirty water or coop conditions or other factors. Oh. Well, Ted cleans the coop regular. He's really good about it. Their sheriff deputy just got busted getting drunk and driving his cop car and crashing. Oh my gosh. First you've heard what's an ODD in jail for? Let me see if I can find it. Booking date 10/26/21. This is right after Flattoberfest 2021, which ODD was at. Charge description, maximum speed limits, use possessed with intent to use drug paraphernalia into human body. This is arrest information only. Let me see. I will try to... listed as being under the supervision of the Department of Corrections in History, Colorado. He was sentenced, educated in Arapahoe County. To see more detailed information on this person, Department of Corrections, link below. Please count the number of squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that didn't work. Inmate locator. This is 2007, though. This is old. That's old. That's the first, that's the old one. That is... Look how young he was there. This is all I can find. They're recently booked. Booked in Geary County, Kansas for possession of opiate, opium, narcotic, or certain stimulant. But that's all I can find. Some people only use cedar chips for bedding. Always got tweaker vibes off ODD. Yeah, he's got some demons following him around. The gross steer cleaned my coop. Who eats chickens? Deer eat chickens? Dude, I'm telling you, everything eats chickens. That's county shit. If his sentence was over a year, he had to be in prison. Hello, Geocentric from the Caribbean. Under a year is county, over a year is prison. That's federal law. Did he do more than... I don't really know. I honestly don't know. You know, this is the most recent thing I can find. Oops. Yeah, ODD was originally meant overdose Denver. If that tells you anything. Yeah, I cannot find... Kansas Bureau of Investigation. No offender found. So I don't know where ODD is. It's kind of crazy, right? Like he just disappeared, but then how do you find out what, if he's in jail or where he's in jail at? Oh, what's this? Come on, brother. Oh, he just had a birthday, April 30th. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know if anybody's got any information. It would be good to know what happened to where he's at. He's on archive, huh? What do they got? Matt on archive. Looks like a bunch of memes he uploaded to archive. Interesting. Matt on LinkedIn. Still friends on Facebook, but he has not posted since December 10th of 2022. People asking, is everything cool? Haven't seen you for a while. Don't know. Guess Flat Earth wasn't enough. I don't know what happened to him. State prison over here. Hope he can turn his life around. Me too, Aurorian. I do too. I don't even know if he's locked up. Like, I can't even find information about where he's at. I just know he's just walking around somewhere. He's just so short we can't see him. Poor little ODD. That's funny, Chief. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I agree. I hope that he's, wherever he's at, he's okay, and he's hopefully getting better. I don't know if he's in jail or if he's walking around free, if he's decided to just lay low and focus on himself and do his, a job. Because, like, I know before he sort of fell off, he was saying that he was starting his own, like, record label where he wanted to help you know, people who did like truther style music, get their music out. So that's what I remember. And like I was saying, that everybody's like, where's ODD? I'm like, oh, I think he's working on his record label, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, nothing ever came out of it, and it just kind of went quiet. And then I did a search and I came across that recently booked thing, but that's from 2021. That's 4 years ago. So, or we're like 3.5 years ago. So, I don't know. Hey, Dougmar, how you doing? Hope he's in rehab. Yeah, I don't know. You know, yeah, I agree though. Would like to see him doing better. Maybe see him come back, because he did good work. He made good flicks. You know, he really did a good job with his production. It was very good. In fact, when I first made my video, my Path to Flat Earth video, I did it sort of copying ODD's, like, watching his videos. I mean, mine was not anywhere near as, like, the good quality, right? Because I made it on, like, iMovie in 2017, so I didn't have the fancy editing software or anything like that. But when I made it, I was trying to copy, like, his style of video. You know, I even made my own little background music for it, my cheesy background music, where it was like some beat, and then like I recorded myself saying lies, deception, and and then I put it in the video, and ODD actually complimented me on that. He's like, I like that part. Epic Deception was awesome. ODD and Hibbler are gay lovers. Well, I don't know. Hibbler might be gay. I agree with you there. He's gonna suddenly reappear as a globling, a la Jismism. I don't think so. Anyone able to stomach watching Flopperanism? I'm curious if he backs the moon landing after his recent convo with McKeegan. It was a nice show with Ted the other day. Thank you. Doug, the only one here that I know that watches Jaren's content still would be Tony Coriolis. And Tony, did you hear anything about Jaren back in the moon landing? I saw that he did a stream with Dave McKeegan on his channel. But, yeah. Thought it was the same individual for a long time. That's funny, Jana. Can't watch him anymore. Yeah, most of us can't stand to watch it anymore. I mean, why would you just listen to someone like that just start spewing all the same BS that they spent the last 8, 9, 10 years debunking? You know? It's just ridiculous. I kind of wasn't watching Jaren before he flip-flopped. I really wasn't watching him that much. For a long time. Because I kind of just was like over it. Because he's a freaking misogynist, for one thing. Chauvinist, misogynist, whatever you want to call it. 100%. He's that. So for me, I was just kind of out. Like, I don't like, arrogant, a-hole, chauvinist, dickhead dudes who treat, women like objects. Like, to me, it was clear that he was objectifying, like, any pretty girl that was a flat earther that came around, like when he put Jenny Rose on his stream, or like when he put Rose's friend Kelsey. He did a stream with Rose and Kelsey, or just Kelsey or something, and he put Kelsey's butt right on the thumbnail. Like, that's so tacky. It's so fucking tacky. Anyway, whatever. I was kind of out on him to begin with, or for a while. But I try to remain civil. Because, as much as I hate it, sometimes you just have to just suck it up and, you know, just remain civil. Just ignore it. Let it go. Let it go. So I did. Trevor7 says they quit listening to Jerry when he said psychic abilities are not real because there is contests that no one has won. Yeah, I think he's just an idiot. I think he's just a smooth talking idiot. He seemed obsessed with Kelsey. I bet she received unwanted D-pics. Yeah, she probably did. She probably did. Remember him showing the Kelsey backside, right? Super tacky. He's a Taurus? No, he's not. No, he's not. I don't think he's a Taurus. I'm a Taurus. I'm pretty sure he's not. Let's see if he has his birthday on his profile. Always honest, sometimes right. Shut up. He doesn't have his birthday on here. Oh. Ben sent me photos. Ooh. Oh, this is Ben's Moldavite. $14,000. Holy smokes. Oh, look at that big, beautiful piece right there. My goodness. Good night. That's expensive. And there's the piece that I was talking about. Look at that. That's amazing. That's freaking amazing. What is this one right here? What is that? So cool. My excuse is I'm picking up 2 different cargo carriers prepping for our trip to Confluence. You're a Taurus rising, so basically a Taurus. I'm a Taurus. My sun sign is Taurus, but I'm Aquarius rising. So I actually, when I started reading Aquarius stuff, I was like, oh, that applies to me too. And then I started realizing why a lot of the Taurus stuff, like some of it applied and some of it didn't. And I was like, why? That's so weird. Then I talked to Erin, the astrology lady, Erin Wade. You'll see her in chat sometimes. She's super cool. She was talking about how the rising sign influences you a lot too. So you have the qualities of Aquarius and Taurus. It's really weird. It's funny how that stuff works. It's shockingly accurate. Capricorn Aquarius starts 121. Brookite. Interesting lore about Moldavite. That Brookite should be in a museum, but it's mine. Jared is a Capricorn. That makes sense, actually. To me, that makes sense. that Jaren is a Capricorn. Makes total sense. Because I knew another guy I dated a Capricorn before many years ago, and he was kind of a misogynist shithead too. How do you feel about Moldavite for wedding rings, Ben Balderson? I would think that if you wanted to wear something like all the time, you would probably would want something that is as powerful as Moldavite. But that's just my opinion. I mean, I don't know your girl. I don't know what she can handle. But in my humble opinion, I would think that Moldavite would be a little bit strong for something that you're wearing all the time. No? I could be wrong. Not for a wedding ring. Moldavite is not tough at all. Oh yeah, that too. Because it's not a crystal, it's a tektite. It's technically a glass, it's not crystal. So it doesn't have that organized molecular structure in it like a crystal does. I'm a Capricorn, never would abandon FE. Sweet. Oh, somebody was trying to call and the thing wasn't making a sound. And I just missed it. I just noticed it to the side, and then when I went to click on it, the call went away. What does Moldavite do? Let's see. It's like supposed to enhance psychic abilities. How do you spell Moldavite? I always forget what that middle letter is. A. It's a Moldavite. I could look it up in one of my books too. Moldavite, also known as the Holy Grail Stone, is a powerful, transformative gem that holds immense spiritual significance. With its unique properties, this stone has gained popularity for its ability to accelerate personal growth and connect individuals with higher realms. One of the key aspects of Moldavite is its healing properties. Oh, I just missed it again because my stupid thing's not making sound. I'm sorry. Maybe if I leave it up, it'll make sound. It's weird, right? Tony called, it made a ringing sound. Now, suddenly, it doesn't want to ring. It doesn't make any freaking sense. I literally changed nothing. I changed nothing. Look, I can see it now, but it's not ringing. Let's see if we can hear him. It took away my mic access. Damn it! I hate Google Voice. It's a pile of doo-doo. So anyway, I closed it and reopened it. Sometimes that brings it back and allows calls. See? I closed the window and reopened it. It's all I did. Alright, thanks for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah.
Hey, remember a few weeks ago when I was saying that I was really attracted to hematite and malachite?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was really surprised when you said hematite was red. You associate that with red, being red. And I guess I'd only seen the really polished mirror-looking stuff. After we hung up, I realized, oh, well, that was stupid of me. Heme is the iron in your blood, or what attaches to iron to make it red. Hematite.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why. But I never put that together, but
yeah,
that's why, because it's red. Okay.
Yep.
And iron, I guess. Anyway, did you know that Carl Jung, you know who he is, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you know he was into not astrology, but people's personalities being tied to when they were born? But he seems to relate it to the Earth and the seasons of the Earth instead of the stars. So I never knew any of this until like a week ago. I just ran into a random video about his thoughts on each birth month and people's personalities. But it struck me that he never once talks about the stars and their influence, or the sun and the moon. It's just related to seasons.
That's interesting. I'd not heard that before either.
Yeah. It seemed that mine in November seemed to fit me pretty well. But anyway, yeah, I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting. I'd not heard that.
And the only other thing was that whole Japanese probe that they sent up, and supposedly sent out a baby probe that landed on the asteroid, and then somehow got sucked back up into the main probe and went back to Earth. And oh my God,
I know.
It was just mind blowing. But what blows my mind even more is I don't know why I've got this picture in my mind, I guess. How am I trying to say this? It doesn't seem culturally like Japanese people would be doing the same ridiculous bullshit that we do. I don't know why I always feel that way about their culture. It just seems like they wouldn't be trying to pull the wool over the whole world's eyes like that, like we do.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's some sort of like unspoken backdoor understanding between like the world powers. Like, it's all right, it's your turn to fake space this year. You got to do something.
Right.
It's been a while.
Right. It has to be, because it's so involved. That deception is just so involved that they must also know how to do the compartmentalization of the people involved with the project, just like NASA. It just blows my mind, and it made me think about when I lived in Nepal all those years. There was a brief time for like 6 or 8 months that my Nepali friend Bilas and his Japanese wife came to live with me because they were in transition. They were going to move to Japan, where she's from. And one morning, I was watching some YouTube video about a brand new PSYOP, and I think it was Cassidy Stay, that whole mass shooting that was clearly fake. And I was we'd had like a substantial break. I think this was like 2017 or something like that. And it seemed like that crap had stopped for a while. So I was really upset when I came downstairs and I started talking to them. And I almost didn't bring it up, but they could tell I was upset about something. So I explained it to them, thinking they're never going to understand about false flags and, you know, this insanity. But I explained what was going on, and I was really surprised. Miko, the Japanese wife, she just gave me this big old hug, and she said, "You know what, Pete? They do it in Japan too. This happens in Japan." And it just shocked me. I mean, she was really serious. So, I don't know. It's like cancer or something.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I guess, yeah, they do it with outer space now. It also makes me think of the whole COVID nonsense and the absolute horror show with the injections.
Right.
And there were two distinct factions. I followed that really closely. You know, scientific lectures on all the myriad of ways that these injections are clearly designed to kill and maim. And there's a hardcore group of Japanese scientists behaving the way that I would expect Japanese scientists to behave. They were saying the truth about all of it. But the government still did it.
Right.
So I guess my idea about Japanese people is inaccurate, unfortunately.
Well, we can't put them all in one group. You know, it's probably just
Right.
like the rest of us. Like, some Americans buy all the bullshit, hook, line, and sinker. And then there's us who are like calling bullshit on everything. You know, so I'm sure it's the same way in other countries. There's some people who
For some
are
reason,
into
I
it.
just never imagined their culture, anyone in their culture could be talked into doing horrific, fake shit at the cost of people's lives like that. I don't know where I ever got that impression about them, but it's inaccurate, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
That's all I had.
All right. Well, thank you for calling.
All right. See ya.
Later. You guys talking about Moldavite? Because Moldavite is definitely an interesting stone. Lots of people get sick from holding it for more than a minute. Looks like uranium glass. Bill Gates shut down Skype. I can't call in from Aruba. Well, what I've been doing is doing a StreamYard link. Like, I'll have this StreamYard room, and then what I was doing for the Friday night, which I might start doing, it's like a workaround where you just open a StreamYard room, but you don't actually stream or do anything from it. You just let people join, and then I pipe it through OBS. So it works similar to like a video call like Zoom, but then you don't have to pay for Zoom. Wonder how long it will be before they make it so you can't even do that, though. Does the call-in work with WhatsApp? I don't know. Good and bad after starting to wear Moldavite. Yeah. Does it glow like uranium glass? When it isn't lit, it's usually pretty dark, almost black looking, unless it's from the Bezna Dees mine, which has been closed for years. It's from the areas found Moldavia. Yeah, I fixed it. I just closed the window and restarted and reopened it. It's literally, that's it. That's just how buggy Google Voice is, I guess. Aligning with one's higher self is not usually a pleasant process. Moldavite seems to accelerate that process. A shocking experience for average crystal shoppers sometime. Yeah. What about the caller said about wood? In Genesis, the Hebrew word translated as tree is actually wood. The tree of knowledge was in the center of the garden, but it never says that God put it there. Well, I don't know. I guess I would have to go back and reread Genesis. I don't remember it word for word. I know that in the beginning it says that the earth was formless and the spirit of Elohim was across the face of the deep. Like a formless deep, like just... I refer to it as the supersaturated crystalline slurry, which was then imbued with the divine spark and started to work the way things work to this present day, where things grow, crystals grow, bonds form, and they start growing. Just my opinion. That's a really oversimplified version of it, but yeah. I also would not use opal for a similar reason, but added sun destruction on a wedding ring. I was thinking emerald, malachite, and moldavite. My wife is a May, Taurus, Leo, rising, so green and gold works in all levels. I'm a May Taurus. Get her an emerald. Those are beautiful. Emerald would be great. I love emeralds. That's my dream, is to find a raw emerald here in North Carolina. There's emeralds here. I want a North Carolina emerald. I want to pull it out of the ground. That's my dream. If I do that, I will be like so happy. That's my rock digging dream right there. Is to dig up an emerald out of the ground. Same people who govern Japan govern the rest of the world. Anyone know what happened to Rodrigo Ferrari Nunez? Well, he was still doing stuff on his channel. He was still doing stuff as long as I know. I don't know, actually. Let's take a look. Is he still doing stuff on his YouTube channel? Topic. Did he take his YouTube channel down? I know he makes music, or he was making music. I guess he's still doing it. Wow, his channel doesn't come up. It's like an auto-generated topic by YouTube. Or did he change the name of it? Oh, he did. Look, I'm subscribed to this channel. He changed it. He changed the name to Creative Philosophy. Our interests: creativity, voice, music, art, and originality. Okay. So maybe he stopped doing flat Earth stuff too, then, eh? And he took it all off his channel. I don't know when that happened. Oh, look at all of these old videos. Yeah, these are all the old music videos. I think that's his wife. That looks like his wife. They had a baby. I know him and his wife had a baby. So there's that happened. Huh. I guess he stopped doing flat Earth stuff and took all his flat Earth stuff down. But he's got a very flat Earthy looking cover photo here. But I know, like, he was, for a while, still doing his Spacecrack streams and streams with other people, but I guess he stopped. There you go. That's what happened to Rodrigo. Let's go to Diamond Hill. Yes, let's go. Diamond Hill doesn't have emeralds, though. Super hard to find emerald with any decent saturation and clarity anymore. I know, Ben. There's the only known, one of the only known open emerald mines, though, is here in North Carolina, and people do still pull emeralds out. It's rare, but it happens. It can be done. But I also don't really dig enough. I have to go digging more. You ain't gonna pull nothing out of the ground if you don't go dig, right? Am I right? Emerald Quest. Pulled a small emerald out of the creek in the backyard. See? That's why there's a bunch of emerald this and that in NC. Yes. Emerald, yes. And North Carolina has one of the only open emerald, active emerald mines. Just like a woman wanting to dig up old shit. Yeah, buddy. Rodrigo was the best. He had a great laugh. Yeah, he was cool. Oh boy, yeah, but remember he was like, for a little bit, hanging out with the FE core group when that was still a thing, and it, oh man, that whole thing turned into like a bunch of people arguing. Oh my gosh, I don't miss those days. He did stop. Well, you know, can you blame him? I mean, he's one of these people that brings like a higher he comes from that, like, educated, right? He was an anthropologist, which is actually a pretty cool, you know, thing to study, right? History of man, study of man, whatever. But I don't know. I guess he just got bored with flurfer stuff and went to live his life with his wife and his baby. Better hook up with Elon. What? Yeah, emeralds are up by Hickory. Ted is also a Scorpio. That's right. Ted is my Scorpio man. Which goes really well with me being a Taurus. He's my opposite. He's the opposite sign. We get along great. I love that man so much. He's the best. He went to the university in my city for anthropology. Did he? That's cool. Come to Black Hills, pan for Black Hills gold. Emerald Hollow Mine. I went here once with my children. I didn't find crap. I found absolutely nothing at this mine, and it was a long drive. This isn't like Diamond Hill, where you just walk around, you find stuff laying on the ground, which Diamond Hill is mostly like quartz, there's aquamarine, lots of mica, amethyst and stuff like that, but mostly what you find is different types of quartz. This place, man, we were there all day. I didn't find jack shit. I was pretty upset. I was like, there's nothing. I found nothing. Nothing. But I would love to go back and try again. See? Look at that. Look at that, that's cool. Rutile. You can find rutiles. Native Emerald Hill Mine emerald. There's a little emerald, 0.69 carats. Garnet. Emerald, look at that. Even if I found one like this, I'd be so stoked. Super stoked. Another emerald. This one's really light. Emerald. Quartz cluster. Quartz, very common around here. Black tourmaline, common around here. I found lots of quartz and black tourmaline in my property. Aquamarine. Anchorite. Titanium. Anchorite, after siderite, rutilamice. Amethyst. See, these are all found here at this mine. You can find stuff like this at Diamond Hill Mine, where it's got like the quartz crystals with the black on it. The manganese or whatever it is. Another emerald. Rose quartz. Aquamarine. Native emerald. Pretty cool. Beryl. We got rubies here. Sapphires. There's a lot of cool stuff. I love it. I love that there's so many cool minerals to be found here in this state. Creek emerald. Aquamarines. Yeah, man. I want to get an emerald. Ted, one of your first Facebook friends when I got back on Facebook after COVID. Ted's awesome. Elon got rich of emerald mines. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, in South Africa, though. His parents were, his dad owned an emerald mine. Geminis usually get along with each other. Yeah. Because they're crazy. Rutile is amazing. Saw the craziest piece of rainbow tourmaline at the Tucson Gem Show this year for $40K. Wow. Mineral Lapidary Museum in Hendersonville. Scorpio here. Scorpio Army for the win. Right on. I love Scorpios. Are red emeralds a thing, or am I tripping? Well, emeralds do come in different colors. Let's see. Let's go to mindat.org. This is my favorite website for looking up minerals. Mindat.org. You'll learn everything you want to know about crystals and minerals here. If you get curious. See, Hiddenite Mine. This is from North Carolina, Alexander County, North Carolina, Afghanistan, Colombia. Woo, look at that piece from Carolina. That's a beaut. Look at that. Yeah, buddy. I want that. Let's see. The emerald reports referring to ordinary green or even blue beryl persisted in the amateur literature into the 20th century. Emeralds contain more vanadium. Some emeralds contain more vanadium than chromium. The green gem variety of beryl. I think emeralds do come in other colors, but they just call them other stuff. So emerald is beryl, right? So emerald is just the green version of beryl. So here you go. Red beryl would be your ruby. Morganite. Heliodor. Kind of like amethyst is quartz and citrine is quartz, but they're different colors, right? So citrine would be like a yellow quartz and amethyst is purple quartz. And then, of course, smoky quartz would be gray or black quartz. But it's all quartz. So there you go. No touchy, yeah. Another Scorpio. Got lots of Scorpios hanging around. I love it. Do all of Gemini's different personalities get along together? Only certain ones. Want to go to the Tucson Gem Show? I want to go to the Tucson Gem Show. I just never am able to do it. I'm too poor. And I got too much crap going on here. Red beryl, not ruby, it's morganite. Well, this says red berry, oh, ruby is the other thing. Corundum, right? That's what I'm getting mixed up. Let's look up. I think, or that's sapphire and ruby. Yeah, sapphire and ruby are corundum. And then, red beryl. I guess it's just called red beryl. It doesn't have its own name. And then, yeah, so here, ruby and sapphires are corundum. That's what I was getting mixed up. Thank you for setting me straight. So, yeah, aquamarine is the turquoise beryl. Really pretty. I went to the Quartzite Gem Fair many years ago. It was awesome. I bet. Shout out for the Geminis. Beryl is the base crystal and they are saturated with different minerals. Yes. So beautiful, so primal. Dude, crystals are the first life forms. Crystal is the first life form. I'm not a Scorpio magnet. Ted's my first Scorpio that I found, and I was looking for one because I had done a bunch of reading up on what would be a good match for me, and everything told me I should find a Scorpio man. And then when Ted and I first started talking, I didn't even know what his birthday was. I just asked him. I said, "Are you a Scorpio?" And he goes, "Why, yes, I am." And I was like, "Sweet." Okay, I'll keep talking to you then. Tucson Gem, so pretty cool. Yeah, man. I would love to go. I would love to go. Very accurate personality test. Yeah. So yeah, that's the deal with crystals. Those type of crystals. I want to pull an emerald out of the ground. So we'll see. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. And as a May Taurus, I would be happy with an emerald wedding ring. Too big and overwhelming. I prefer smaller shows. Well, there's some shows coming up now. It's the season. 'Tis the season for crystal shows. Here in Carolina. Where's that website that talks about... I used to have it. There's like a Carolina Rock and Mineral shows. Here we go. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey Karen, it's JT. You run Boston Bear.
Hey, what's up, JT?
Well, running around with my head cut off like a chicken, or however you're supposed to say it.
I bet with all them children.
We got a new minivan, and we now have a fourth kiddo. So we have two car seats in the back. And usually when we do a family road trip, we have like the left side folded down. And it's like the big side of the minivan to fill the back totally full to the roof. We don't have that anymore. We just have the little well in the back, which is okay. But we're going down for 5 days of camping with a 2-month-old and 3 other kids. And so I've been running around looking at cargo carriers for the top and a basket for the back.
Wow.
And but that's what I've been doing.
Wow. Yeah, you are busy. You got your hands full.
Yep. And so it's tent camping, and I hear it's supposed to be raining a lot. So
what, at the
it's going to be an adventure.
At Confluence,
yeah.
It's supposed to be raining?
I hear. That's what I heard.
When is it? It's like in a couple of weekends, right? Or when is it?
It's we leave Wednesday morning. It's 7th through the 11th. you could look up the weather in Bandera, Texas if you wanted. Everybody's trying to like will the weather to be clear. But I looked a couple weeks ago and it was like thunderstorms every day.
Wow.
Yeah. One quick comment on a previous caller, like, I don't know, 30 minutes ago, he was talking about the earth and like basically when you're born might have a little bit to do with the earth's energy or seasons versus like the stars.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminded me of hearing Joe Hanvey talk one day. Actually, I went to the Truth and Freedom Conference where he and Whitsitt and Aloha from Florida and some others were speaking. And he was talking about like what the sun and the moon even are under his, estimations or whatever. And he says he believes it's energy from the earth radiating or going upwards, in the invisible light spectrum. You can't see it. And then it collimates at the firmament and reflects back down where at the superfluid layer there's an excitation to get that apparent sun, that orb. He said, and a person had a question, well, what if the energy's coming from outside the firmament? He goes, yeah, it would work the same way, and that's a possibility as well, that the source sun or whatever the energy is in the system comes through the firmament and points kind of like a focused beam of energy, and then the excitation at the superfluid layer is where it kind of excites, and that's how we have the sun. But I said all that to say it's interesting as a truther to wonder how much of the earth, like the earth is so important and it's all we have and it's massive and it's an extended plane, topographical. But, everybody in mainstream wants you to look out there into outer space. They want the main point to be outer space is massive, it's infinite, it's expanding. But really, we should just be looking at what we got and looking at the earth and being grateful for what's here. But I know I said a lot, but that was on my mind when that dude said that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's interesting to think about.
But yeah. I think the stars are awesome. But it's interesting to think maybe it's not the stars sending down what makes us different on the moment we're born, but it's what the earth is vibrating at, or the frequency or the tone when we come out or when we're born. It's the earth that might make us special or different. But yeah, interesting thought process. Don't claim to know anything, just like to think about all of it.
Well, I would think that it could probably even be both, because I consider the sky to be part of the Earth system. I just don't have any idea how it works.
Yeah. Oh, mechanicalistically, or like the mechanism of it, it's so above our ability to probably even know or even understand. Like if the creator was like, okay, Karen, I'm going to lay it out for you. This is how the sky clock works. This is energetically what's going on and how it moves. We might be like, what? Because it might be outside of physics, outside of what we understand about the materialistic nature of where we reside. And that's why I'm cool with not knowing. I think a lot of people that are like globers and they're like pissed that we're asking questions about where we live, or when we ask questions about consciousness or believe in things that are outside the material world, they don't like that because they want to know that it's this, that, and the other as far as like numbers and heat and distances. They want to know what the universe is, so then they feel secure. And I'm fine not knowing.
Me too. I'm totally fine not knowing.
And don't you think it's way better to just be appreciative and excited to be alive in this place than worry about arguing or debating or being right? I don't care if I'm right.
Yes.
I just want to know you as a person and jive with you and enjoy a meal, a laugh, a good movie, and then move on. To have that experience with somebody else. Keep going.
Yeah, I agree with that totally.
Well, thanks for letting me word vomit. I've gotten anxious. I feel like I've had way too many cups of coffee, but it really is because I have a tremendous amount of packing and things to do, even mow the yard before I leave Wednesday morning. We have a 2-month-old at home. So it almost looks like mission impossible to get packed, but I'm about to get off of here and go into high gear.
All right. Well, good luck with that.
All right.
And you guys have fun.
Yeah, much love, and tell Ted hi. Y'all did a great stream the other day. It was a great setup in your studio. Y'all both sounded awesome, and I look forward to more of those as well. And have a blessed day.
All right, thank you. You too.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Rum Boston Bear. You showing that schedule because you're proud of it? No, I'm not. I've got nothing to do with this. I just wanted to see. I'm just pulling it up so I can see who's going to be there. Jesse Elder, How to Remain Undefeated in Spiritual Warfare. BJ Fisher, don't know who that is. Patty Knuckles, don't know who that is. And then Bonfire, Dimensional Breathwork with Andrew Genovese. Yoga with Connie. Ayla Cuenca? Birth Society's Last Initiation. Firecrafting with Wildkind Jess. Dr. Edith Ubuntu Chan. Luminous Humans, Creators and Wizards of the World Unite. Blockchain Entity as a Private Man. Host Otto Gomez. Dawn Lester. Transcending the Conditioning with Dawn Lester. She's the... That name sounds... She's the doctor lady, right? She's pretty cool. Cultivating Sovereignty with Krista Arias and David Arias. I don't know who most of these people... I don't know who any of these people are. Sarah Kleiner. Aligning Light, Leptin, and Circadian Biology. Intro to Kindred Spirits with Ryland and Sarah Engelhart. Steve Young from Atoms to Alchemy. Okay, so that's cool. So Steve Young, he's the quantum physicist who has left all of that and is now debunking all that stuff. The guy that we've been talking about, the one that has talked about his presentation in the very beginning of the show. So that would be really cool to see Steve Young and whatever he talks about. Be Like Water with Samuel Wu. AJ Richards, Feed the People, By the People. Dr. Jared Pollock, The Fourth Phase of Water. So that would be cool too. The Fourth Phase of Water guy. Sean Kirk, Leek and I don't know who these other people are. Anna Maria Oliva, What Your Light Says, Understanding the Biofield. Aligned Spinal Dynamics and Foundations, Dr. Evan Johnson. So, I don't know. There's probably some cool stuff. I can't really speak to any of these. Cal Washington, I know he's a really well-known guy. Bills of Exchange and Promissory Notes, The Illusion of Money. So he's a smart guy. I would like to see that talk. Language of Sovereign Authority. Mark Gober, An End to an Upside Down Cosmos. Carrie Bennett, Light, Water, and Ether. Lucid Dreaming Alchemy. Dr. Kelly Brogan, The Reclaimed Woman. Kelly Brogan is that, like, psychologist lady. Mike Cardamone. Opening Creator Film Workshop, John Morrow. Yeah, dude, I just don't know a lot of these people. Topher Gardner, The Architecture of Appropriate Signal. Topher Gardner sounds familiar, but I couldn't really tell you what he does. I know I've heard that name a bunch. Tom Barnett, Natural Law, Everything's an Offer. I remember that guy. Got really popular during the COVID nonsense. Jess Caldwell, Dean Hall. The Real AF Workshop. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Kendrick Winterwolf. Paul Leinderst, Healing Beyond the Physical. Sound Bath in the Pond. Hey man, I had a sound bath at my 2020 Flattoberfest 2023. It was awesome. Shout out to Chad Davis for the killer. Oh, dude, Ian Carroll. Blech. That's the first name I've seen where I'm like, oh, give me a effing break. Ian Carroll. Ian Carroll, Breaking Free of the Left-Right Paradigm. That guy's such a tool. He's such a phony tool. That kind of makes me throw up. More yoga. Ooh, Eileen McCusick with Tuning the Human Biofield. Adam Bigelson, Holographic Blood and Bioterrain. A lot of these people seem like they do multiple things. Vita Austin, The Living Language of Water. That would be cool. She's the very last thing. So there you go. There it is. Also drinks his pee. Who does that? Not triggered yet. For anyone wondering, Rose... Patty Knuckles, yeah. What really makes you ill? Yes, Rose, that's right. Dawn Lester is the author of that book with David Parker. Yeah, she's cool. Can't wait to meet Steve. Pollock is great. I'm glad there's no weirdos. There's... Ian Carroll is a weirdo. I'm sorry. I don't agree with Ian Carroll being brought into this. He's a questionable character. I find him to be extremely shady. He's tied to those Black Rock goons, Eric Prince, and those guys. There's something going on with that dude. That is not an organic popularity thing with that guy. I don't even know if there is such a thing anymore. With the way that they control everything with the algorithms. But that guy, definitely a freaking tool. Pollock is great. He builds domes and does biochar and hangs with Owen Benjamin. Okay. Barnett over from Australia. Christopher Gardner is biocharisma. He does some houses. Gardner isn't actually going to make it, sadly. Also, he drinks his pee. Okay. Chad Davis is a legend. I like Topher except the pee drinking and rubbing it in his eyes. Always have to get off the train right before piss drinking. You know, if Ted was here, he would remind everybody that in Flattoberfest 2023, when we were in Las Vegas and he was in charge of picking everybody up at the airport, that he had to pick up Dave Murphy and Amanda Vollmer at the same time. And when Amanda Vollmer and Dave Murphy were in the van and he was driving everybody back to the hotel, they went on this like crazy pee drinking talk. And they were talking about like their aged pee, like how they've had, like they have aged urine that they keep in a container for like years until it turns like gooey and dark and like bleh. Every time he talks about it, he starts making the puke face. Yeah, way too much 80 biker porn cop stash. You're like a magnet keeping me from vacuuming. I'm about to wrap it up. He's there to control the narrative, yes. Grifted into the anti-Israel crowd, yep. I agree, Ben. Ian Carroll seems manufactured. Because I'm on X a lot, and I've read a lot of stuff about people exposing Ian Carroll. And also, like, his, there's this... You know, he doesn't, and like he's allegedly one of the people who are trying to like expose the deep state, blah, blah, blah. But then when people ask him about Brock Pierce, he's like, oh, I'm not going to look into Brock Pierce because it doesn't really affect my life. Do you know who Brock Pierce is? American entrepreneur, known primarily he's for his work in the cryptocurrency industry, co-founder of Tether, former child actor, but now he's into like weird stuff, internet gaming and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and he's tied to BlackRock somehow. I mean, that's not gonna show on Wikipedia, but like, Brock Pierce, crypto billionaire and former child trafficker based in Puerto Rico whose lawyer worked for the CIA, thinks you should discount the claims of the guy who came to Puerto Rico for crypto and died right after tweeting that CIA and Mossad were there operating a crypto pedo ring. Right? Let's see. This dude's tied to some gnarly stuff. Is this the same Meha show that shows the Patriot Coin funded bronze Trump statue that Brock Pierce helped fund with Kyle Kemper and Dustin Stockton, giving him the Patriot of the Year award? Same Brock Pierce that's been going to Guatemala lately, but you don't investigate. Yeah, like, it's a lot to get into right now, but if you go on this platform and start searching around the names and start reading some threads and stuff about people exposing that guy, you'll see he's connected to some shady characters. And I, for one, if I was doing an event of that nature, like Alex Zek is, and I actually like Alex Zek. I follow him on X. I think he makes great posts. He says a lot of great things. But why would you include that guy? Why? How could you not see that that guy is clearly controlled? Not the same as aged bourbon. Might have crashed the car into a wall. Dude, I had to sit in that fucking panel between them while they ping-ponged piss drink stories. It was horrible. Let me see if I can find this one clip. I clipped it out because it's freaking funny. I sent it to Rose. I have to look in our chat, Rose, and see if it's still there. And then we'll wrap it up. I love how Telegram keeps everything. Man, is it too old? I can't find it. Anyway, there's this part where Dave Murphy's doing a talk. Or no, Amanda's doing a talk, and then Dave walks by, and she yells out, "Pea drinkers unite!" I was like, oh my god. You guys are crazy with that shit. Anyway, whatever. Oh, here it is. I found it. I found it here. Oh no, it just went away. Damn it. Damn it. Whatever. God, I'm totally killing the stream vibe by looking for this stupid shit. There we go.
But also I have to thank you for that question because it brings me to my most favorite topic, which is Shibambu. Do anyone know what Shibambu is? Alright, Dave Murphy knows. Anyone know what urine therapy is? For those who don't know them. Okay, we're getting there, Yeah, I'm a pee drinker. Pee drinkers!
So there you go. Pee drinkers unite. For the record, I am not in the club and will not be living on the same block as the club. I agree, Ben. A big conference, so I couldn't go off, but damn it, I wanted to. Dude, seriously, why would you drink your own pee? Seems like you'd be drinking toxins in your body you just excreted. Well, the whole idea is that your urine doesn't excrete toxins. It's toxins come out in number 2. I don't know what the whole thing is because I don't really care to drink pee. I will say this. I had severe eczema and I was trying all kinds of stuff to get the eczema off my hand. Like my whole hand was just, it was disgusting, blistery, cracky, pussy. And I was using steroid creams that the doctor was prescribing me, but it worked once, but then it stopped working. And it would come back worse. I dealt with it for months, right? And it came back so bad. My hand, I was in so much pain, I couldn't even use my right hand. And people had been talking about urine therapy. And one day I stuck my hand between my legs and I peed on it. And I got instant relief. And then I did that like a couple days in a row, like 2-3 days in a row. And I shit you not, my eczema went away and it never came back. It never came back. So I will say, there is something to urine therapy and using it topically for skin issues. That was my experience. But you will not catch me drinking that shit. On a similar note, squirting is pee, allegedly. It excretes minerals you couldn't process and then builds up. I've had that in my mouth and it didn't taste like pee. Oh my god, Ben. So gross. Anyway, on that note, there's some gem shows coming up, Cammie. Franklin Gem and Mineral Show. Oh, on my birthday! This next weekend. We should go. Happy birthday to me. The Gem Show is coming. The Gem Show is coming at Carpenter Community Center. Kids get in free, adults $3. Hey! Rocks, gems, minerals, fossils, crafts, and more. Awesome. The grand raffle prize is pink ice, pink cubit zirconia pendant, and matching earrings, value $400. Oh, cool. There you go. We should go to that. And then what else? Wholesale Gemso, but I don't have a wholesale license, so we probably couldn't go to that unless you get a wholesale license, I'm assuming. But let me check. It says wholesale. Wholesalers. Or maybe the exhibitors are wholesalers. For convenience of wholesale buyers. Okay, wholesale buyers. Jewel Passage Rocks, Minerals, Gems, and Beads show in June. That's Raleigh. That's a little far. Swannanoa, Greater Charlotte Gem Mineral Fossil Show, Concord, North Carolina. Another Franklin Gem and Mineral Show. So there you go. 'Tis the time of year to go. We're so in. Yes. I pee in our compost pile and I grow our food in the soil that's mixed from our compost, but that's about as close as I get. Yeah. Thank you, Toronto Suke Ido. I might be able to talk our way in. I still have business cards. Oh. I don't think it's that hard to get a wholesale license. Amanda has an entire talk on it. Yeah, she talks. Yeah, she has a lot of stuff. She likes that. I don't. Me, no. No, me. No, no. No pee for me. Franklin and Swannanoa. Yeah, let's do it. And maybe throw in a trip to the Emerald Mine in there somewhere. All right, you guys. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. It is after 1 o'clock. So, oh, I didn't even get to this thing. Anyway, we can talk about that stuff later. I want you guys to have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Coffee Talk. It's fine Moonday. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Are we gonna do a Glowbusters Tech this Thursday or no? Are we taking time off like the main show? I'm not sure. So, I like it still. Tony be doing that. I'm not opening a business. Well, maybe we should, Cammy. Maybe we should start a rock business. All right. See you all later, I guess. I'm not really sure when. But we'll see you soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Cheers. Cheers. You can send physical mail to P.O. Box 10, Earl, North Carolina, 28038. You can also follow me on Ko-Fi.com, and if you enjoy my shows and want to send me a tip, anything and everything is greatly appreciated, and thank you. And it's official. Flat Earth Festivals has been retired. It was great fun while it lasted, and I hope you all cherish the memories we made at Flattoberfest as much as I do, and it was a pleasure to watch so many online friendships become in real life friendships over the years. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.